After working in a salon, I already got so successful that it didn't make sense for me to work for another
Someone else.
salon. Yes. And then I decided to open my own, and it was one of the best decisions that I've done. And I got very successful too.
Like an excessive amount of money doesn't bring happiness, but
I
you
think
need
brings
your
problems.
it brings problem. You will have more options at that point, actually.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, Mary here. I'm here with Ani Morkur, the owner of My Cafe. Thank you for being here, Ani John.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Ani Morkur on Instagram and TikTok. Ani Morkur.
I will link her handle below. Thank you for being here and thank you for having me.
Thank you for
So
coming.
I can't wait to actually do what you do for others. So
this is my favorite dish.
This one is actually okay.
It's tomatoes and scrambled eggs with jalapenos and cheese, melted cheese inside.
Oh.
Which we eat with lavash, the Armenian bread.
Let's try some.
Let's try some.
I don't know how you do this on camera.
I don't know. I just get in there and eat it. There's no right or wrong way.
Yeah, there is no right or wrong way to eat food. But then you have your comments over there just saying how to eat is a thing.
Yeah, don't listen to comments.
Okay.
And plus, it tastes better when you eat with your fingers. And
Yeah. Okay.
You can't eat this with fork and knife.
No, you can't. Oh, wow. What cheese is used in here?
Well, I can't give out all the secrets, but it's melting cheese.
Oh, okay. It's like perfect.
It's yummy. So good.
It's the best pomidoro of zavadzak I've ever had.
If I make this at home, same ingredients, same portions, doesn't taste the same.
Interesting. Maybe it's the cafe. You have to be here. You have to come and try it.
And this is my other favorite and number one selling, the egg pizza.
Oh, wow. I've seen this on social media and I've always wanted to try it. It's so big. It could feed like a family.
But it's very light. The dough only has 90 calories, the whole thing.
What?
Yep.
This big dough only has...
We import that from Italy. It's really good and healthy.
No way, 90 calories?
90 calories. Just the dough, plus the egg
well,
and the cheese.
yeah, but that's still good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have some of this. Ooh, it's hot. Maybe I should wait. It's fresh out of the oven.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna wait because that's really hot. So, what inspired you to do hair?
Oh my God. So, growing up, my mom was an esthetician, and I always watched her, you know, make people, women especially, feel better about themselves and love themselves, their look. And that I really like doing that. So, but I didn't like doing face, so I love doing hair. Every time when we were teenagers, with all my friends, when we would go to my house, I would just sit them down, braid their hair or blow dry their hair, cut their bangs or, you know, stuff that I could do. So I really wanted to do hair and I went to school here, got my license, and I started working in West Hollywood, beautiful, very nice salon. And just from there, I started doing a lot of good clientele. I've done a lot of celebrities here. And after that, I just decided to open my own salon.
So what you like about doing hair is the confidence that people gain afterwards, like when they look in the mirror and they feel like they're a brand new person.
Yeah, I love doing that. I love beauty. Anything beautiful, I love. And I love making people feel beautiful about themselves, feel confident, feel like $1 million.
So what made you then go and open a salon?
So after working in a salon, I already got so successful that it didn't make sense for me to work for another salon. Yes. And then I decided to open my own, and it was one of the best decisions that I've done. And I got very successful too. And back then, I'm talking about 18 years ago when I opened my first salon.
Wow.
When we were building the salon and remodeling, I put a small bar, like a cafe bar, inside the salon. So
Oh,
since
wow.
then,
So it was meant to be.
it was since then I've always wanted to have a small bar, either alcohol to serve alcohol or coffee or pastries. I love feeding people. Yeah. So
You love, like, you're a people pleaser.
I am a people person. Yes.
Like,
I can't do an
you like
office
seeing
job.
people happy.
Yes, I love doing that. I can't do an office job. I can't be in front of computers. So I love being around people. And I can't even do one of those studios. You know how now private studios for hair? I can't do that. I have to
like
be
Salon Republic.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You have to be in a crowd.
Yeah, I have to be around.
You're social.
I am.
That explains a lot about your personality because you're very social, bubbly,
I'm very
friendly,
bubbly, very social. I'm a Gemini.
very
I have
approachable. So
thank you.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So my salon and then my cafe. So what's behind the...
Okay, so let me tell you the story. When we opened my salon, it was beautiful, big, huge salon. And of course, we built a cafe bar inside the salon. And then, as we all know, COVID happened. And salon business, beauty business was one of the first businesses to be hit. Yeah. So it was terrible. And then we had this huge space. We decided to split the space and we turned half of the space into a cafe and we kept the other half as a salon. And I think that was one of the best decisions again, you know, like when we say when life gives you lemonade, you have to start making, when life gives you lemons, you have to start
make lemonade.
Yeah. So that was my lemon. You know, COVID happened, so
COVID inspired you to
COVID pushed me. I always
else.
had the inspiration. I just needed that push. And COVID was that push. It pushed me to do it.
So my cafe was a little bar in your salon and then it just became
expanded.
A cafe.
Yes,
My salon, my cafe. That makes sense. Wow. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
So same for me, actually. So I was at a government job and I was an employee and I was always doing like a side business and like I had my company and everything, and COVID just pushed me completely to be like independent on my own, and it thrived.
Yep.
So it's like I had the inspiration, I had it going, but I had a fear. Like I had a fear of it not working out, and I didn't have a choice at that point. So
and you know the saying, when one door closes, another window opens. It's very true. So don't be afraid of doors closing.
And take the risk.
Take the risk.
Take the risk. And even if it doesn't work out, I rather live knowing that like I did it, or what if? I don't want to later on be like, what if?
And never be afraid of failures. When you fail something, that's a lesson for you, and then to do something different.
Never take it as a failure.
Every failure is a lesson. So don't be afraid of failures.
It's not a failure, it's just a lesson.
Yeah. Lesson.
Yeah, so take the risk.
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. It's probably not.
Let's just get
Tell me how to eat it though.
So this is how I eat. I just take a little bit of peas.
Okay.
And I dip it in the yolk.
Okay.
And eat it.
Oh wow. That dough?
It's very light. I think we need to add salt and pepper. You want salt and pepper?
Yeah, please. But this dough,
right,
is only 90 calories?
Yep, for the whole thing.
No wonder you're losing so much weight. You're just eating this.
People always ask me, how do you stay so not fit, but you don't gain weight? You eat all the time.
Because she eats this dough.
I eat this dough. Plus, I don't eat like my whole meal. I just, for filming, I do a couple of bites and that's it. I don't finish my meals.
It's portion control. I mean, people always ask that, and there's no secret to weight loss. It's just calories in versus calories out.
Exactly.
It's like literally a mathematical equation. That is really good. The cheese too. Like the cheese reminds you so homey.
And it's a lot of cheese.
You know, like everything here has tasted so homey, but like to another level of exquisite. Like, but I feel very like kanakan.
And our customers too, they feel like they're coming to more cruise house, you know?
That's funny, because Morkur and Hopar. That's funny. I was calling Tony Hopar, and some customers heard it, and they're like, where have we heard that before? And then I'm like, because Ani Morkur. He's like, oh! And they don't even realize where they're coming.
All the kids, you know, teenagers, they come, Tony Hopar will love you. They take pictures with him.
This is like, I know it's not retirement. I know it's hard to own a business, obviously.
Oh, it's very hard.
But this is like ideal. Like, I can't imagine a better life. Like, you socialize, that fits your personality so well, and you just enjoy company, good food.
Exactly.
And
with the customers, they're always like usuals. Always usuals. We know them by names. We know them with the whole family, you know? And it's only been a year.
Wow, it's only been a year.
Year and a half.
Before my cafe, this place was
My Salon.
My Salon.
And then before My Salon was Ruben's Cake.
Ruben's Cake.
And then before that was a bridal store.
So last time I remember this place, it was a bridal store.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really been here. Wow. I'm glad it really worked out. See, God has a plan, and you just have to...
Always. My God is always with me, and He always has a plan for me.
Yeah, you just have to listen.
Listen.
What's one challenge you face as a restaurant owner?
Finding the right workers.
Oh, employees.
Yeah, employees, servers, cooks.
That's like a challenge around the board because everybody, there's like an employee-flation. Like, nobody wants to work.
Nobody wants to work, but even if you find somebody that wants to work, they're not good.
And it's customer service.
Customer service is very hard.
And it's disappearing. Customer service is literally leaving.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so this goes into, do you feel like tipping is mandatory?
Okay, so because of my whole life I've gotten tips because you're doing hair, everybody tips their hairstylist. I feel like I'm a big tipper also. I feel like tipping shouldn't be mandatory, but I feel like people that work in service, they depend on tips. If, let's say, you get a bad service, I don't think you should tip. It's like somebody cannot force you. I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok where pizza delivery person doesn't give the pizza because they don't tip on the app. No, you can't do that. But tips are appreciated, and it's good to tip.
It helps the person out.
Yeah.
What about like Starbucks and places where there isn't really customer service and they're asked to tip? How do you feel about that?
Okay, Starbucks or coffee bars like that, I tip very minimal, not like 15 or 20%, because of the baristas. They work. They need to be tipped. But if, let's say, you go to a counter where not a person is helping you, or it's just a cashier and they ask you for a tip, no. Why would you tip? But if a barista is making your coffee, a little bit, $1 or $2. No.
You do take a sip first. Let me see if it's good.
No, I usually tip because you can't take the sip before you pay.
Oh yeah.
So and there is the option
that's
when
another thing. How do you know if it's gonna be good?
Well, I'm sure if you don't like it, they won't mind changing it. Like here at our cafe, if there's somebody does it's too sweet, or if it's not sweet enough, if they don't like it.
To here, this
Starbucks,
is like
you can't compare it to our cafe.
Any restaurant, this is really good customer service. I've been here a few times, and they're just like on top of it.
Yeah,
and
small businesses, we have to. Like chains like Starbucks, they don't care.
Yeah, they have volume.
If they lose you as a customer, they don't care. But small family businesses, yes, we care, and we depend on each customer.
And reputation is everything.
Oh yeah.
And we're in a community where things spread fast.
Very fast. Everybody knows everybody in our community.
So it matters.
Yeah.
Can you share one critical moment in your life that helped shape you?
I would say moving to US. I was 15 years old.
Oh wow.
We moved to US. I did not speak English, not one word. I did not know anybody in the US. So moving here totally shaped me, like reshaped me, made me who I am.
Reborn.
Reborn, yep. Yeah.
How was
that
the challenges in high school being like not knowing the language?
Oh my God! So the first day they took me was back then. Ninth grade was junior high school. So they dropped me off to school, and I was on my own. I didn't know where to go because back home you only have one classroom, and the teachers would come and go. You stay in one classroom. But here in US, each class you have to walk to a different campus, different classroom, different classmates. That was shocking for me. I wasn't used to that. That was very challenging. And then no English. They gave me locker combinations. We don't have locker back home.
I don't know
so
what
I
a
kept
lock
carrying
is.
all my books with me to every class, and nobody would help me. I didn't know who to ask. So it was very hard for me. And then making friends, I didn't know anybody. People would laugh at me because I didn't speak English. You know, it was very, very challenging,
I feel so
very
bad
hard.
for people who went through all of that.
It was hard.
But that's what made you tougher and
very,
into who you
yes.
are today.
I grew thicker skin.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a foreign place, and I mean, kids are also not nice to
Very
begin
cruel.
with.
Very cruel.
And
High
then
school kids are very
They're
cruel.
so bully.
Yeah. Bullying has always been around, I feel like. I came in 87. It wasn't as bad like now, I feel like. I don't know.
Well, now we have so many different things to bully on. Before, it was just race and gender. Now it's like so many things have popped up.
Yeah.
Now people are compared like bullying based on the clothes you wear and whatever.
The brand you wear.
The brand you wear. Oh, you have a lower end brand than me. It's
or the
just,
car you drive.
yeah. Before, I don't think it was as much like that, but
No, not as much. I was being called phobe, fresh off the boat. Back then.
well, now you're like, look at where this folk has gotten. Now, if they run into you and they're like, I want to take a picture, you're going to be like, you want to take a picture with the folk?
With the folk.
What is one valuable advice you have received? Or you will give?
Okay, I want to give to younger kids or younger generation or just anyone. Never judge anyone you're sitting next to by their looks or anybody. You never know who you're gonna meet. Let's say you go somewhere. You come to my cafe. You don't know who's sitting next to you. You should start talking to everybody. Say hello. Be nice to everybody because you don't know who's sitting next to you. Like Tony, we went somewhere. We just not accident, but we met the people next to our table, and then we started talking. We exchanged numbers. Tony told him he does real estate. They ended up buying a house from us, and then they ended up having us sell their other home. You know, you just don't know.
You never know.
You never know. Never.
Never underestimate.
Never
anyone.
underestimate.
Just be a nice
always
person.
be nice to everyone. Doesn't matter what they look like, what they're wearing, if they're wearing brand or not. Like, I don't like wearing brands. You know?
Yeah, you'd never.
Yeah,
I mean, people know you now, but well, if they didn't know you, they wouldn't know you're the owner of the cafe.
Exactly.
And
because I don't look like this every day. If you come to me to get your hair done, I look very different.
Which is normal because you're always on your feet working. You're not gonna look like this and blow drying someone's hair, and you don't have time for that.
No, I don't have time.
So that's actually really valuable lesson because I think the younger generation really forgets that it's who you know more than what you know.
Younger generation, I feel like they don't even get out of their phones to see even who's sitting next to them, to even meet the person next to them. It's totally different.
That's true.
Yeah. Get out of your phones, people. Meet people, talk to people.
Create genuine relationships and interactions and that's so true. Like I've had so many instances, and it's not about money, but it's about the connection, right? You never know.
You never know
that where that connection is gonna lead. You never know if that's gonna be a lifelong friend. Maybe actually have friends who their dad has met people on the plane sitting next to them, and there's 30 years like covered friendship, this that. Like you didn't know unless you talked to that person. So if you got off your phone, you would meet people. So I completely agree with that advice. I think it's very valuable.
Yeah.
So if you were to come from Armenia, new, all over again, what would you do differently?
I would go to school more, get a higher education.
You would?
Because, when we first came, I went to high school, but then I got married very early, so I left
When did you
high
get
school.
married?
I was 17.
You got married at
We
17?
had to, yeah, my mom
They
had to
let
go
you?
to court. We had to go to court. My parents had to go to court.
Wow. What a beautiful marriage,
sign.
though, from 17.
Yeah, we've been together over
More
36
of your
years.
life than.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked. I'm
Yeah,
shocked it was even.
But I would go to school for higher education.
So 17, you came at 16. So you meet
I came at 15.
15.
I met him at 16.
16.
Got
in high
married.
school?
I was in high school.
But Tony Hopar told me he was a troublemaker.
He was. So we didn't meet in high school. I was in high school. We met outside of high school.
So you're into that bad boy vibe.
If I had the brains now, I wouldn't be.
I'm glad it worked out though.
Yeah,
But see,
yeah.
they mature into like
they
such
mature.
nice
I
men.
mean, we
so-
were too young. He was 20, I was 17. That's too young to get married. But back then things were different. We were more mature. If I meet a 17-year-old now and compare to myself at 17, totally different. I was very mature at 17.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the lifestyle we had. I lived in Armenia, we moved, I went through a lot. But here we do so much for our children that they don't mature at 17,
They don't have. They're
know?
not independent.
We
no.
take over everything. They're not independent. We'll do this for you. We'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. So they don't mature at 17. I think.
I think that is what it is.
Yeah.
I think we're just too in a babying culture, like
Yeah.
where we do everything. We don't let our kids. Well, I don't have kids, but we don't let the child
Mature, yeah.
mature and do things and figure it out
Figure
for
it out
themselves.
from their mistakes.
Yeah, we
don't let them make mistakes. I mean, I don't.
Exactly,
My daughter Nicole, I
exactly.
don't make her make. I
You
don't,
don't let her.
Yeah.
You intervene
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you see it happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I don't want her
what's
to get
wrong.
hurt, but I think that's what matures them. That's what shapes them.
Yeah, the mistakes. Once
The
you fall,
mistakes.
you get back
Yeah.
up. You're a better person. You're a mature person. That makes sense.
But I feel like falling in your own country is different than falling in this is our country now, but it was different for us.
It was
back
safer
then.
over there.
Yeah, it was safer back in Armenia.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, my parents didn't speak English, so I had to take over.
Yeah, you
my
didn't
parents.
Well,
yeah,
you
I had
didn't
to
speak English either.
I learned faster than my parents did. In 6 months, I was already speaking English.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I think that's the one lesson, like, if parents can have, is let your kid make mistakes. Let them.
Small mistakes. Hopefully not big mistakes, but
She's
they
still
have
intervening. Her mom
Yeah.
stuff is like, no,
Yeah.
no, small mistakes. We'll let small mistakes.
Yeah, small mistakes to shape them.
What would you be if you went to school? You said you would go more to school, but what would you want to be?
Just like general knowledge, maybe. I don't think I would want to do anything besides hair. I love doing hair. It's my passion. I love doing that. But maybe study business, how to run a business,
Just be a little
Just,
more
yeah.
education.
Yeah, have more knowledge about running business.
So you would probably go for business. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So you said that you met when you were 17. How did you meet
16.
him? 16. He was 20.
He was, when we met, he was 19, I was 16.
Okay, 19 and 16.
His mom.
How did you meet?
His mom had a clothing store back in Hollywood. So accidentally we went to that shopping center and then with my mom. And then I said, Mom, let's just go in to this store. And my mom said, but that looks like an expensive store. We can't afford it. I said, no, we won't buy anything. I promise I won't ask for anything. I said, let's just go look. So we walked in and then my mother-in-law started talking to us. And then Tony came to bring lunch for his mom. That's when we saw each other. But I had dreamt of him before that day.
What?
2 weeks before. You know Ari Belit?
When you eat something
The one
salty,
you eat the salty bread.
to dream who your man is going
Yes.
to be?
So I did
That's
that.
a real thing?
It worked for me.
Okay.
So I did
So
that.
you're 17 and you're looking
was
for
16.
16 and you're looking for your man. So you're eating salty stuff before you sleep.
I ate the salty stuff and I dreamt of him. And I told my grandma, I said, I don't believe this. I don't know anybody with blue eyes and light hair and looking like this. I said, he looked very different. He didn't look Armenian. She said,
Wow.
you're going to meet him. You'll see. 2 weeks later, when he walked into the store to bring lunch
those
for his
chills.
mom, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna marry this guy. She's like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I said, you'll see, I'm gonna marry this guy.
So okay, so you lay eyes on him,
And he laid that we had this
like
eye
a
contact.
connection, and then how did you talk though?
Okay, so the same day when my mother-in-law talked to me, she found out where I work. And back then I used to work at Beverly Center at a frozen yogurt shop. She told him where I work. That same day I went to work, he came there.
So he came after you, same day. He couldn't even wait a day.
And that same night after I went home from work, they came to my house
To want you.
to ask my dad if permission if he can take me out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, everything happened in
What
one
a
day.
gentleman. Wow.
Well, you know, back then things were different.
So, but he's not asking your hand in marriage. He's asking to go on
If
a date,
he can take me out on a date.
which means I have to marry her back then.
Back then, yeah. If by 18 you weren't married, something wrong with you. No, but my dad said, okay, you can take her. The next day we went on a date. 1 week after that, he proposed.
What? Okay, hold on. One day you know each other. One day you're on a date.
7
Wait,
days
he
later,
meets your dad and you're on a date. Then 7 days later he
he
proposes.
proposed.
And then next day you had marriage and a baby.
No, 10 months later, we had a big wedding.
Oh, okay, so you were
Huge
engaged
wedding.
for 10
We
months.
were engaged, yeah.
Okay, how was that 10 months?
It was fun.
Yeah? You
Yeah,
got to
a
go
lot
out
of-
because you're engaged
yeah,
now?
every night. And then my sister is younger than me a year. My mom, every time she would say, take your sister with you. Take your mom. I'm going out with my fiance. Why would I take you?
I'm finally here.
Yeah.
Why would I ruin it?
God always helps us. Just like on days when I feel like, oh my God, there's no way out. What am I gonna do? Another door opens, another window opens. God always sends us. In
As long as
everything.
you're listening
Yes.
and you understand
Yeah.
that it's a window to go through. Interesting. Do you think like money brings happiness?
I feel like money doesn't bring happiness, but it's very necessary. Like, if there is no money, that will bring a lot of fights and a lot of problems in your life or in your relationship. I don't want too much money, but I
want
feel
enough.
like enough to live comfortably where you don't have to worry about how am I going to feed my child today.
So, money, like an excessive amount of money doesn't bring happiness, but
I
you
think
need
brings
your.
problems.
It brings problem. You will have more options at that point, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the perfect amount to have your needs met, but not.
Where you can go on vacation if you want, maybe once or twice a year. Where you can do, if your child wants to go to Disneyland, you can do that. You can drive a car that is new and safe, not a Lamborghini. You know, I never wanted that.
That brings problems.
That brings, the more you have money, the more problems I feel like you have.
Actually, funny story. We were at Kabosu and this Lamborghini came by, and these two girls were passing, and he didn't see them. But then he barely stopped, and the girls were like, "Oh, I wish he hit me," because you see dollar signs,
You see
right?
dollar signs, exactly.
And I was sitting there eating and watching this whole thing, and I'm like, "Oh, look at the way they're thinking. Like they wish the Lambo hit them because they know that pocket is deep. So you don't want to attract that.
No.
You want to have enough to like go through life, but not have that attraction of like, come at me.
Exactly.
Even whether it would be like,
Plus, I feel like when you're that rich, you have that much money, you don't know who's genuinely your
There
friend
for-
next to you and who's there just because you have money. And if you lose, God forbid, you lose all that money, are they going to be next to you?
you'll never know because
Yeah, you'll never know. I've been up and down, so I've lost and met a lot of new friends and lost friends because of that. When you're here, you have a lot of
Everybody.
friends, everybody's next to you, you're the best person. But when you're down low, only the true friends are next to you.
interesting. So you don't like, you live in a world where you don't even realize who's real.
Exactly.
Thank you everybody for joining. That wraps up our beautiful lunch at my cafe. You definitely have to try it. I highly recommend whatever dough this was on. I wonder if we could buy the dough because it was crack.
It is
It was
crack.
so good.
It
And
is
knowing it's 90 calories, I don't even feel bad. I'll eat all of it.
Yeah, guilt-free.
Guilt-free crack. If you want guilt-free crack, stop by at my cafe
In Glendale.
in Glendale. We'll link all the location and their information below.